Morning, everybody. Grab a cup of coffee and a donut or three, and let's do some switching. Before we get to switching, let me talk here for just a second. Maurice Grimes said I must have a really organized workbench because I get a lot done. This is typically the state it's in because I'm usually multitasking and doing different stuff. I have a drawer here with paint in it. And I've got another drawer here with some supplies, and I've got my styrene and scenery and stuff down there, and I have some more stuff in the garage. But anyhow, that's not why I'm talking about. This switching is going to be a little bit different. I went into JMRI and I set up a train which is combining Chillicothe and Oak Hill. So the train is going to start out in the staging yard. It's going to switch Chillicothe. And then it's going to go to Oak Hill, switch the industries in Oak Hill, turn around, come back to Chillicothe, switch the industries that are now a traveling point, and then go back to the yard. So it's sort of like a branch line combining both towns. I've never done that before. I went into JMRI and just set up a trial train. Has a few bugs to work out, but anyhow, that's what this operating session, next 2 or 3 videos is going to be. So I hope you enjoy it. Now let's get on to the switching. Okay, so this first part is going to look really familiar because the train is going to come underneath US 23 into Chillicothe. I'm using my GP40 with sound. And we're going to switch wherever and Union Spring. So this first section won't look much different than what you've seen me do in the past. So the only thing we have to do at wherever is to drop off a plastic, a covered hopper full of plastic pellets. So the best way to do that is to just go pull the 2 cars from the spur first, back up, couple onto the covered hopper, and then I can push them all in there at the same time and they're in the correct order. I'm out on the deck as usual. It's dark and it's about 38 degrees, clear night. And heading down to about 26, I think, tonight. I guess one of my N-scale drivers had a few too many beers. I just noticed that the crossing signal on Douglas Avenue is leaning backwards. They must have ran into it when I wasn't looking. So if you're looking straight onto the layout, you don't notice that kind of stuff. But anyhow, it's fixed now. It's propped up with a piece of styrene under it. So we're pulling the 2 cars. I've got to standardize couplers. The L&N car is an Athearn car with those type of couplers. Can't remember what they are. And I've got Microtrains couplers, and the covered hopper has Atlas couplers. And I need to get rid of that. But they're all working. I see my dad's white Corvair parked in front of wherever office there. That'd make Rich Green happy. With 3 cars behind me now, I'm going to need to occupy Douglas Avenue, so. So this video is going to be a little longer than normal, mainly because of the talking I did at the beginning, but I decided to just go ahead and combine Wherever and Union Spring into one video. So I think it's like 15, 16 minutes. Hopefully that's not too bad for most people. Have another donut. So now I have to go back and get the gondola full of steel rods. I made these loads. Basically, I just took the smallest styrene rod that I could find from Evergreen, or I don't know who made it, Plastruct, and painted them silver or gray, and sort of made like a little form and glued them all together in there and glued them to a piece of styrene so I can remove the whole load. It's a pretty lightweight load, so it's still a light car. I'm going to have to figure out what to do to weigh down my gondolas. I may have to get some of that stuff that Roy Smith's talking about, that like that lead putty that like you can press up underneath and hidden. So I have to pull the empty. So while we're watching that, let me talk a little bit about the train. Again, I went into JMRI. I can't have normally my Chillicothe trains are like 6 cars, and I have 6 cars for Oak Hill. Well, I can't run a 12-car train. That just clog everything up. So I left the train length about the same as it has been, which means I only have, this train is about 6 cars long, and I have to serve both towns. So there's a lot of industries that aren't going to get switched. So I'm going to have to play with it to see what happens. So in Chillicothe, and you'll see in, probably part 3, the couple industries that don't get anything done to them. And in Oak Hill, Cedar Heights Clay doesn't get any switching done. So that'll be in part 2. But that's okay. I said not every industry gets switched every day on the railroad. So, some do. If it's a paper company, sure. But I guarantee you my Union Spring is much busier than the real Union Spring is as far as rail service. So we left the empty back there on the passing track extension. That track actually goes all the way back to, it's the second staging track in the yard. And now we're going to push the load in. Had a little blip switching this spur, but the engine just fixed itself. I guess the flywheel pushed it past the stall point. So overall, everything went pretty well. So we're going to pick up the empty gondola and then run back through the crossovers and couple on to the end of the rest of the train. And I'll end that video in this video here. And next video I'll pick up, we'll pull the rest of the train forward. And so you'll get to see the rest, rest of the makeup of the train anyhow. I want to thank Rick again at SoCal Models for putting the link to my channel in one of his videos. I've gotten over 100 subscribers in the last 10 days or so. That's probably attributed to him, that link, because if you watch his channel, he has a switching layout, so you're probably interested in switching. So I know that I've really enjoyed watching him switch his layout. And as always, feel free to comment, ask questions. I've got playlists back there on... Chillicothe isn't that organized. It just says N scale. But, you know, Oak Hill, I've done a pretty good job of keeping up with the progress. And then I've got my garden railroad there too, if you like that, and some rail trains. So I'm going to Indiana Sunday, be there for a week, but this time of year it gets dark so early. I don't know if we'll get any rail trains or not. I'll hopefully get some work done in the hotel. Anyhow, I'm going to try to start Cedar Heights clay. All right, we're just about done. So I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and look for part 2 where we head to Oak Hill. So everybody stay safe.